Hello, and welcome to the world of Black theater. I'm your host, Linda Armstrong, on HarlemTalkRadio's.com. And today, my guest in the studio is a repeat guest. You guys have seen this lovely lady before. She is Miss Grace Jones, President and CEO of Audelco. Hi, Miss Grace. Welcome back to my show.
Thank you.
Miss Grace is here for what I have been waiting for, to come and give you guys the nominees for the Audelco Awards this year, which is going to happen on Monday, November 15th at Aaron Davis Hall, which is at 135th and Convent. So, Miss Grace, this is, and also this is the 38th annual Audelco Awards. I'm sorry, let me put that in there. It's the 38th annual Audelco Awards. And the reason that it's so important that we have Miss Grace come on and share with you guys the nomination is because the Audelco Awards is our Black Tony Awards. They acknowledge what we as African Americans are doing in theater, whether it's Broadway or off-Broadway. So it's so important. Where we had the show and Miss Grace told you guys about it, and I told you guys about what the Audelcos are. Now you know. Now we want to let you know who's nominated from Black theater, who made the cut to be nominated for the Audelco Awards for this year. All right? So I'm going to kind of turn the floor over to Miss Grace and let her read you guys all these exciting nominations for this year's Audelco Awards.
Now I'm just bubbling over. All right. This year, Friends of Audelco, 2009, 2010, theater season, the ballot, or I should say the Viv nominees. All right?
That sounds
good.
Good.
Lighting design. Here we go. James Carter for Pekong. And this was out of National Black Theater. Then we have Peter Kazorowski, the brother-sister plays out of the Public. Brian Nason, the Emperor Jones. That was the Irish Repertory Theater. Ben Stanton, A Cool Dip in the Barren Saharan Creek. Okay, this was on West 42nd. And then Justin Townsend, On the Levee. On the Levee or Levee, depending on where you're from. Okay? Now, set design, Patrice Davidson, What Would Jesus Do? Then Jamie Durant from Grandmothers Incorporated.
That play was funny.
Yes. Oh, my. Peter Cassander, On the Levee. Then we had Chris Stone, A Cool Dip in the Barren Saharan Creek. And I need Garland Lee Thompson here to say crick with his Cherokee, influence. Okay. Then we have Danielle Worley, Brokology.
Okay.
And that's out of Lincoln Center. Costume designs by Antonia Ford Roberts, the Emperor Jones. Karen Perry, Brother Sisters plays. Then Helen L. Simmons, What Would Jesus Do? Allie Turns, August Wilson's Women. And David Withrow, Pekong. Now, sound design, that's Ryan Rummery, Christian. Let's see, it's two guys, Ryan Rummery and Christian Fredrickson out of the Emperor Jones. Then there's Lindsay Jones, the brother-sister plays, again at the Public. Leon Rothenberg, On the Levee. And David D. Wright, Oshun. Okay. Now he's the brother in the group. A director of dramatic productions, Lair de Bessonnet, On the Levee. Imani, Dr. May Edward Chin. This was out of Richard Allen Center. Thomas Cale, Brokology, again, Lincoln Center. Tina Landau, the brother-sister plays. Now, that was In the Red and Brown Water. Robert O'Hara, brother-sister plays. The Brother Size and Marcus, okay? Director of musical production, Akeem Babatunde, Blind Lemon Blues. Then Kent Gash, Langston in Harlem. Now I have to take a deep breath. Susan Stroman, the Scottsboro Boys. I'm going to save my comments to the other nominations. Choreographer, Akeem Babatunde for Blind Lemon Blues. Byron Easley, Langston in Harlem. And Barry McNabb, the Emperor Jones. And again, Susan Stroman for the Scottsboro Boys. And that was at the Vineyard Theater, I didn't mention before.
Okay.
Okay, then we have playwright Marcus Gardley, On the Levee. Yvette Heiliger, What Would Jesus Do? Nathan Lewis Jackson, Brokeology. Then there's Terrell Alvin McCraney. I'm going to say that again. Terrell Alvin McCraney, The Brother-Sister Plays. Then Charles Smith, Freed. Supporting actor, Francois Baptiste, Brokeology. Damon Gupton, Claiborne Park. David Heron, Pekong. And that's a Steve Carter production out of, Take Wings at Soar, I believe, did that one. Yes. Jamal, well, he's the man with the voice. Jamal A.C. Mangan, What Would Jesus Do? Then we have Willie Teacher, Ben 2. Now we have the supporting actress, Colette Bryce, Gladys's Dilemma, out of the Hadley Players. Crystal A. Dickinson, Claiborne Park. Harriet D. Foy, On the Levee. Zainab, Zanab Ja, Ben 2. And Johnny May, What Would Jesus Do? Okay. Now, outstanding performance in a musical, female. Bambi Jones, Nonsense. Kaneta Miller, Langston in Harlem. C. Kelly Wright, Langston in Harlem. Outstanding performance in a musical, male. Brandon Victor Dixon. Dixon. The Scottsboro Boys. Grace. Josh Tower, Langston in Harlem. Glenn Turner, Langston in Harlem. Musical production of the year. Blind Lemon Blues, York Theater Company. Langston in Harlem, Urban Stages. The Scottsboro Boys, Vineyard Theater. Now, I was holding tight. Every time I said the name, I got a lump in my throat. I have to say this. Susan Stroman was the director of musical production. Susan Stroman was choreographer of the Scottsboro Boys. That play really hurt me. I remember hearing about it as a child. I was a preteen, let's put it that way. And to see, and I know I'll get a lot of flack, but I cannot understand why someone would take and make a musical of that subject matter. Now, you're saying, Grace, you're talking out of both sides of your mouth. Not so. The young men that did the performance, I thought, what's his name, Brandon? He was a wonderful dancer. He was a dancer, choreographer, you name it. And again, Susan and the group, they had, I guess, their purpose for doing it because it's back on Broadway. And anyway, I'm upset. I can't help but saying it, just simply that. The musical production of the year, I'll repeat, Blind Lemon Blues with Akeem Babatunde. And that was out of York Theater Company, Langston in Harlem, yay Langston, Urban Stages, then the Scottsboro Boys Vineyard Theater.
And Miss Grace, I just want to say that what you said about Scottsboro Boys, I have seen the Broadway production, and I understand very well how you feel. When I saw the show, I found it, in a word, offensive. So I understand that shows have to be nominated based on the actors and the performers' capabilities. And that's why this show was nominated for an Audelco Award.
Right.
It's not because it's a great subject matter and it was handled in a good way. It's just the performances of these individuals and, you know, what they achieved in their presentation.
Right.
So I completely understand that.
And
so.
I hope my audience or your audience or my friend's audience understand we must be honest with each other. I know that, hey, everybody was going wild over it. I see that they tempered down the promotion of the play. And I haven't seen it. I don't know if I'm going to go back to see it. But at the same time, again, I will give credit where credit is due. The young men, each and every one of them, they played their part, and I'm sure they had lumps in their throat while doing it, you know. But again, you got to pay rent sometimes, and you don't judge people because you can't pay their rent for them, okay?
That's true.
But now, outstanding ensemble performance. That's August Wilson's Women. That's a Juneteenth Legacy Theater. Blind Lemon Blues, York Theater Company. And, oh, gee, I have the names. I'd love to mention the names of the people who were in the